task of ensuring equal justice and preserving the impartial rule of law. Today, it is my honor to nominate one of our nation's most brilliant and gifted legal minds to the Supreme Court. She is a woman of unparalleled achievement, towering intellect, sterling credentials, and unyielding loyalty to the Constitution, Judge Amy Coney Barrett. We're also joined by Amy's husband, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse, very much. And with Judge Barrett is a graduate of Rhodes College and the University of Notre Dame Law School. At Notre Dame, she earned a full academic scholarship, served as the executive editor of the Law Review, graduated first in her class, and received the law school's award for the best record of scholarship and achievement. Upon graduation, she became a clerk for Judge Lawrence Silberman on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. Amy then Antonin Scalia, a highly a very highly respected hired her shortly thereafter, and we are honored to have his wonderful wife, Maureen. Where is Maureen? Maureen Scalia. Great. Good genes in that family, I will say. Very good genes. Before joining the bench, Judge Barrett spent 15 years as a professor at the University. The entire Notre Dame law facility and faculty, everybody our constitutional system depends upon an independent judiciary staffed by talented people devoted to the fair and impartial administration of the rule of law. and we unanimously agree that Amy is such a person. For the last 3 years, Judge Barrett has served with immense distinction on the federal bench. Amy is more than a stellar scholar and judge. She's also a profoundly devoted mother. Her family is a core part of who Amy is. She opened her home and her heart and adopted two beautiful children from Haiti. Her incredible bond with her youngest child, a son with Down syndrome, is a true inspiration. If confirmed, Justice Barrett will make history as the first mother of school-age children ever to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. That's good. To her children, Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin, thank you for sharing your incredible. Amy as Amy the U.S. Supreme Court. I want to thank the members of the Senate. We have so many of them here today. Thank you very much. I see you in the audience and you're so proud. But I want to thank you for your commitment and to providing a fair and timely hearing. I know it will be that. Judge Barrett was confirmed to the Circuit Court 3 years ago by a bipartisan vote. Her qualifications are unsurpassed, and her record is beyond. Going to be very. Thank you. Members of the other side of the aisle to provide Judge Barrett with the respectful and dignified hearing that she deserves, and frankly, that our country deserves. I urge lawmakers and members of the media to refrain from personal or partisan attacks, and the stakes for our country are incredibly high. Rulings that the Supreme Court will issue in the coming years will decide the survival of our. We must preserve our priceless heritage of a nation of laws, and there of the American system of justice, no matter the issue, no matter the case before her. She will defend the sacred principle of equal justice for citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I am deeply honored by the confidence that you have placed others here for your kindness on this rather overwhelming occasion. I fully understand that this is a momentous decision for a president. And if the Senate does me the honor of confirming me, I pledge to discharge the responsibilities of this job to the very best of my ability. I love the United States, and I love the United States Constitution. I am truly humbled by the prospect of serving on the Supreme Court. Should I be confirmed, I will be mindful of who came before me. The flag of the United States is still flying at half-staff in memory of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg to mark the end of a great American life. Justice Ginsburg began her career at a time when women were not welcome in the legal profession. But she not only broke glass ceilings, she smashed them. For that, she has won the admiration of women across the country and indeed all over the world. Yes. She was a woman of enormous talent and consequence, and her life of public service serves as an example to us all. Particularly poignant to me was her long and deep friendship with Justice Antonin Scalia, my own mentor. Justices Scalia and Ginsburg disagreed fiercely in print without rancor in person. Their ability to maintain a warm and rich friendship, despite their differences, even inspired an opera. These two great Americans demonstrated that arguments, even about matters of great consequence, need not destroy affection. In both my personal and professional relationships, I strive to meet that standard. I was lucky enough to clerk for Justice Scalia, and given his incalculable influence on my life, I am very moved to have members of the Scalia family here today, including his dear wife, Maureen. I clerked for Justice Scalia more than 20 years ago, but the lessons I learned still resonate. His judicial philosophy is mine too. A judge must apply the law as written. Judges are not policymakers, and they must be resolute in setting aside any policy views they might hold. The president has asked me to become the 9th justice, and as it happens, I'm used to being in a group of 9, my family. Our family includes me, my husband Jesse, Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin. Vivian and John Peter, as the president said, were born in Haiti, and they came to us 5 years apart when they were very young. And the most revealing fact about Benjamin, our youngest, is that his brothers and sisters unreservedly identify him as their favorite sibling. Our children obviously make our life very full. While I am a judge, I'm better known back home as a room parent, carpool driver, and birthday party planner. When schools went remote last spring, I tried on another hat. Jesse and I became co-principals of the Barrett e-learning academy. And yes, the list of enrolled students was a very long one. Our children are my greatest joy, even though they deprive me of any reasonable amount of sleep. I couldn't manage this very full life without the unwavering support of my husband, Jesse. At the start of our marriage, I imagined that we would run our household as partners. As it has turned out, Jesse does far more than his share of the work. To my chagrin, I learned at dinner recently that my children consider him to be the better cook. For 21 years, Jesse has asked me every single morning what he can do for me that day. And though I almost always say nothing, he still finds ways to take things off my plate. And that's not because he has a lot of free time. He has a busy law practice. It's because he is a superb and generous husband, and I am very fortunate. Jesse and I have a life full of relationships, not only with our children, but with siblings, friends, and fearless babysitters, one of whom is with us today. I am particularly grateful to my parents, Mike and Linda Coney. I have spent the bulk of my adulthood as a Midwesterner, but I grew up in their New Orleans home. And as my brother and sisters can also attest, Mom and Dad's generosity extends not only to us, but to more people than any of us could count. They are an inspiration. It is important at a moment like this to acknowledge family and friends. But this evening, I also want to acknowledge you, my fellow Americans. The President has nominated me to serve on the United States Supreme Court, and that institution belongs to all of us. If confirmed, I would not assume that role for the sake of those in my own circle, and certainly not for my own sake. I would assume this role to serve you. I would discharge the judicial oath, which requires me to administer justice without respect to persons, do equal right to the poor and rich, and faithfully and impartially discharge my duties under the United States Constitution. I look forward to working with you during the confirmation process, and I will do my very best to demonstrate that I am worthy of your support. Thank you.
General Bill Barr. Bill, thank you very much for being here. Chief of Staff, thank you very much. Chief, you're doing a great job. And all of the senators, please, we really appreciate it. And I know you're going to have a busy couple of weeks, but I think it's going to be easier than you might think. So thank you very much.
Sure that that the mainstream media, they're already, spinning. And the thing is that, I mean, I think she's pretty much being a realist, knowing that this is not going to be a unscrupulous endeavor. And just the introduction alone, she's not going to be it's going to be scrutinized. And the only thing is, and President Trump has asked the media to give her dignity and respect, but how likely is that to happen? So I guess the best that we can do is the best that anyone can do is just to, continue to support her. If you do, if you don't, we all have our reasons, we all have our convictions. And the only comment that I can say is, she made some comments about, only thing I could say is that, she made some comments about the late RBG, and I didn't support very many. I didn't support anything that any of her rulings or her ideas. Will I say that could I deny that she's a trailblazer? No, but it doesn't, I'm not going to say, I'm not one of these people that's going to pad a person or build them up, or try to, I'm not going to, I don't find any honor in being dishonest in someone's death. So I'm not going to echo those sentiments. I don't know. I didn't know her, of course, as a person or personally. So there's also not an attack. It's just me being honest. So I'm thinking, we'll see what happens with this. We know what happened with Kavanaugh, and I think they've already began. And we heard a little bit of that from earlier from some of the people that are actually in DC today to watch the event, along with the Frank Graham's prayer march, I think that was earlier today. So thank you guys so much for joining me from that time period. And I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the stream. Shout out to Crazy Chick Sheena. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys so much. If you are taking care of the channelytics, I really appreciate that, because the reindeer games are in full swing. Shout out to DJ Vision Barnett. And let's see, we had some other people. Old Head Deuce, thank you so much for returning from earlier. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And Real Memories USA, I really appreciate you for coming in. And Crazy Chick Sheena says, yeah, I say, this is about the living at this point, and I think they need to, let live and move on. What I don't agree with is generally my position on that. I can do that, but we'll see what happens with this. Of course, there's gonna be a fight to the finish on this, and I hopefully they can move expeditiously, for the lack of a better word. I remember that term being used quite a few times by Morgan Freeman as the principal on the Lean On Me. So yeah, expeditiously, if they could just move forward. I mean, this is not, I didn't want to get into this, but there's actually already something out by a Daily Kos or Daily Kos. There's a petition out. Sign the petition. Demand that U.S. senators respect Justice Bader Ginsburg's last wish and not hold a confirmation hearing until after Inauguration Day. But as I said, I addressed this previously. It's a wish. It's not there's no, when somebody grants a wish, that's something that's a more, it's either a gesture, and in a gesture you don't get to choose, right? If somebody grants you if you have favor with somebody, but we're talking about running the country with all hands on deck. We're talking about, you can't set the rules based on somebody's wishes. This is not the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's that, as I said, I went even lower than that, and I said, this is not hold my place in line until the person with the Nike Max 5500 gets to the front. No, that's not what this is. So this is just another tantrum, for the lack of a better word. This is another tantrum style request. And from what I'm hearing, and there's plural hearsay that they're not convinced that she even said that. Who knows for sure? But I don't think on someone's deathbed, that I struggle with that. But even if it was something, sometimes we say things in passing, and I don't mean literally, but sometimes we say things in passing, or I would like, or it's something, kids rely on wishes for their Santa wishes, not Supreme Court justices. You can't follow, we can't rule by wishes, or you can't obstruct a process with a wish. You just can't. So the thing is that the conservatives need to hold firm and do what they need to do. It's really time to, and I don't mean literally, it's time to fight fire with fire. If you can't stand it, get out of the way, rhinos. You can't stand the heat, get out of the way. I mean, and that's why I'm saying it's like, I think even Tucker Carlson maybe made a comment. He was saying it's not exactly what he said, but I think he said something similar. It's almost time that we demand something different out of conservatives, out of the right. We need to demand that they have some type of backbone, a cast iron one, I don't know, a metal one, any kind of backbone, we'll take it. That'll be stronger than what we've seen. There's no time for the people are going to expose themselves, is what I think this is going to be for the next 39, 40 days. I think we're going to see people are going to fold up like a brown paper bag in the rain. And they're not going to make it. So shout out to everybody in the stream. I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in on your Saturday. Makes a huge difference to have you guys here. So, and I will have an update for the debate. If there's a chance that I can stream that, I'm going to be bringing you that information as well. So I look forward. Shout out to Crazy Chick. Wasn't that a great movie? Lean on Me, Mr. Clark. He totally used that word expeditiously. So we need to move this process on expeditiously if it's to be done. If it's to be done. I don't know. Somebody else has a report coming out. I'm not sure what's Mitch McConnell doing right about now. So, okay, now we have to worry about Mitch McConnell. Okay, well, we don't need that. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to read your comment here from Crazy Chick Sheena. Crazy Chick Sheena, thank you so much for being here. It's always nice to have you with us. And Chrysler Imperial H, thank you so much for coming in. Shout out to the loyal patrons, Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, Definition of Anarchy, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, Crazy Chick Sheena, as always. Let the Truth Be Told, Cold War Jesus, and AZ Infidel. Thank you so much. DJ Vision Barnett, thank you so much for being here. And yes, because I just wanted to, I'll drop this in but there is a actual petition out that's to petition the U.S. Senate. But here's the other side of that coin. You guys can also write to your senators as well and say, look, move forward. What is it? Somebody's got with the hashtag fill that seat. Somebody's got that going too. So, that's why I'm saying we've got to be equal on the, we've got to be equally involved. It's time to not be docile. There's plenty of active projects to work on. I mean, writing your senators and congressmen is something that you can do anytime. That's available to you all the time. We don't have a petition going. At least I don't know. Maybe there is a petition going, but we need to urge the Republicans to move their cans and get this done. Because to me, this is almost just as important as the election itself, I would imagine, because you need to have all of the seats filled. They need to be full. In case they're going to throw this election into disarray, we already can, the temperature, the climate, the conditions are right for absolute chaos and disarray. And yes, so we need people to do their jobs. And I would imagine we need to watch these people closely, the people that are like McConnell, if he's going to play games, and, he can go. I just, I'm just saying, it's just really sad. It's really sad. You just, for the people. Who's working for the people? Can you guys tell? Shout out to everybody. I'm going to read this. Crazy Chick Sheeta. Crazy Chick Sheeta says at this point, no rhinos, conservatives, or leftist Democrats. We need full Republican modern values. Yeah, we need to demand something else out of that party. They cannot, it's almost like Trump is, just like Big Daddy Trump has to put his hand on everything. He has to crack the whip all of the time. Well, at some point, it's time for them to be students of the people and students for the people. That's what they're serving. That's what they're paid to do. We pay their salaries. We should demand govern for us, not over us. The Democrats want to govern over us as if it's a monarch. They want to rule. They want absolute rule, absolute power. We need them to govern for us, not top down. Our power comes from the bottom. I've said that before, from the local seat and from the local, your city, your county, and up. It's not to come down from them. And I don't want to go into a rant, but we've already seen this week. We've already seen people being tased and arrested for not wearing masks. Is that the kind of country you guys want your kids to grow up in and live in? I mean, listen, it can get a lot worse. If you could believe it now, if you couldn't believe it before now, can you believe it now? Let's see, I'm going to share a little something else. I might have some extra coverage for you. Hang in there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really, really appreciate you guys for joining me on this segment. You guys are the absolute gold standard. Uh-oh. Sorry. That's not what I wanted. Whoops. Sorry about that. We're going to skip the ads and go right to some action here. It's appreciate you guys so much for all that you do, and we'll take you there right now. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Let me see, which one of these am I on? I hope you guys are well out there. Sorry for the delays here. Okay. Thank you.
It's not No, does it matter? No. Does it matter?
No, the action
Well,
of filming
you don't have privacy in public. You don't have privacy. Hang on. I want to talk.
Who do you represent?
Who do I right here?
America's Voices.
Yep.
What is that about?
We are about having a conversation. We're real America's Voice. We want to talk to both sides. So what do you think about President Trump's nomination, Amy Coney Barrett, to the Supreme Court? What do you think will help bridge the divide? I mean, anything you want to talk about.
You want to, I guess, deal with the political aspect.
Well, and really the religious too. So
mean, I don't know what organization you're talking about.
So
Like,
the
there's
one-
one organization, because there's tons of so-called Christians.
Right.
There's tons of religions
Yeah.
that operate as cults and
Okay.
do.
That the only way to salvation is through Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I believe he died for our sins. I believe I'm a sinner needing of his mercy and his redemption, and that's my only way to heaven. That's what I believe as a Christian, as the gospel. The gospel.
Okay, listen. So I mean, yeah, we can talk about religion, we can talk about politics.
What does your
but
sign say?
Black genocide.
Okay.
So, clearly the flag should say a lot about why I'm here.
Yeah.
It's beyond politics and it's beyond religion, because the religion that you're talking about has to do with doctrine. But when you practice the doctrine, there's supposed to be a spirituality aspect. So within the spirituality aspect, we are suffering black genocide continuously.
The abortion, or what are you talking about?
Through
Do we agree that abortion of black children is genocide? That we should stop that as Christians?
can we agree that bombing children across the country is also genocide?
Who's doing that?
You tell me. Who's doing abortion?
Abortion doctors and Planned Parenthood.
Who's dropping the bombs?
I don't know what bombs you're talking about.
Soldiers, right?
You mean around the world? Not in America.
Around the, it doesn't matter. We're talking about spirituality. It's not, why are you being boxing yourself in America when the
I'm asking. I'm trying to get clarity. I thought you were talking about America.
I'm trying to get clarity too, because you're throwing things out there to try to, put me in a box. But
Well, no, you said black genocide. That's the only black genocide that I know of that's happened recently. Now, obviously, during slavery, the evil of slavery and Jim Crow laws and all that, there were.
See, ladies and gentlemen, are you seeing the con? You see him, he's carrying a sign. He's the one that's twisting and conflating things. He's talking about genocide, carrying a flag that says black genocide from 1619 and forward. Yet he can't figure out where Planned Parenthood would fall amongst black genocide. Not to mention that he's talking about geopolitical stuff. He's talking about bombings. And who do we know that bombed? Who bombed the last place? Who bombed? Which president, which administration bombed the last place? I mean, I'll wait. So who is he referring to? He needs to get his platform straight, not Berkram right here. Yeah, I think he's full of it. Clearly he is. Sorry I had to interrupt, guys, but I just had to take a moment there for him to stop conflating geopolitical bombing and agitating and destabilizing. He's talking about destabilizing nations. He's talking about that America being a sinful nation. That's what this clown is talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's trying to tell him he's the one that's pushing something and twisting and manipulating. Sorry, I had to chime in.
There were some really, really terrible things that happened that I think we can all agree were evil, and they should have been overturned, and they shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm trying to figure out what genocide you're talking about now.
Slavery.
Well, the control, the ownership of one person by another.
So what happens when you go to prison?
You committed a crime, and
not reason.
It's not slavery. You've given a.
Not the reason.
Right.
What happens when you go to prison?
Given away your freedom.
What happens when you go? Don't you define slavery?
No, I don't.
Kill like sorry, I have a stutter. Okay, yeah. So
no pressure.
yeah, so there's like policies that were implemented during the 60s and 70s, which blocked black people from being able to take out mortgages on homes, auto loans, redlining, all that, and that stuff is still happening today. It's still happening.
Legally, it's not.
ways to circle. But in reality,
a justification. When, or technically, by the definition of life, they are.
no. Unborn babies are not alive.
When did
If
they-
you look,
When did
they become alive.
as soon as the sperm and the egg, combine and they're implanted on the uterine
You
wall.
believe that life. Okay, so
I believe that's life. But for the abortion, that would be a child.
it's a genocide.
We prioritize, right? I mean, well, we just do. I think human life is God. We're made in the image of God. And so,
You're already operating off a framework that is biased.
absolutely. We all are.
No.
My bias, I'm a Christian conservative.
Science. You are operating off.
You're
Science is the objectivity that is the standard throughout the world. Everybody agrees that science is the standard. Nobody is saying God is the standard.
No, a lot of people are.
No, if you
they
ask,
are. It depends on who you ask.
are you really going to do this?
Stand by. I think there's some technical difficulties there. Not sure. It's not on my end per se. But hang on just a second. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening there, but maybe it'll come back. I'm not sure. He may not be aware that he lost some sound there. So I'm streaming from somebody else's platform. This is actually Will Johnson at UniteAmericaFirst.com. It's actually a great site. Will has he's a lot to say. And so yeah, I'm not sure if he knows that he's lost. Let me see what's going on. Hope you guys are there, but can you just hear the ignorance that's going on there? It could be that they've been censored. It could be that they've pulled it. That the technical difficulty is actually on YouTube, is playing games there. However, did you hear him mention the word "we"? The kid, the Latino kid, or the other kid, that not this kid that's here right now. He mentioned that but you're not even black. You're not even African American. If you're not black, you're not African American. What pain are you feeling from 400 years ago? I mean, I'm tired of these people and their vicarious BS. Now you got people from other backgrounds assuming the same. They need to borrow some white privilege or some other background privilege long enough to insult somebody. Black. Just like Joy Behar. I don't know if you guys saw that interview with Kim Klacik, and she was defending herself saying, oh, well, she was like, Kim said, is this blackface, Joy? And so she goes, Behar says, yes, the black community had my back. Okay, but why does the black community need to have your back if you're not doing anything offensive? So you need black people to give you white privilege so that you can denigrate or you can insult black people. Is that how this works? But let me see. I'm not sure what's happening here. Hang on just a second. I'm going to stop this one for just a second. But yeah, you guys can follow this. This is on Will's channel. I don't think Will minds because Will wants people to share out. Yeah. So yeah, it's on both ends. His people are talking about it on this actual on the mainframe there. So yeah, no sound. That was so good, but that kid is so lost. It's like, okay, what is this? What scientist are you quoting? What scientist, what institution are you quoting? Everybody's always, you're not listening to the science. Everybody feels scientific telling everybody else they're not scientific. Is that how science works? I don't know. What is this stuff? Follow the science. Science is not the center of our lives. See, this is going back to some Nietzsche stuff where they even misconstrued that based on letters that they found about what he actually meant when he said God is dead. See, these people think that they think that what they're doing is something new, but for the uninformed, they'll follow anybody's philosophy because they don't have any framework or real historical facts or context to work with. So they can be led around. You see, this is the thing. When you're dealing with these revolutionaries and these communists, they intentionally recruit the less educated and the less fortunate. And that's a tradition they had back in the 60s and 70s. When you go all the way back to the Weatherman Underground, it was a part of their aim, part of their objective. They recruited people that were less educated because these Weatherman Underground kids, they were from affluent suburbia. What's that? Bill Ayers. But they recruited people that were hair triggered, that would be violent. They needed that element as a part of their movement. They needed people that would put it all on the line, that were slightly less educated or slightly less fortunate because they had less to lose. Their parents weren't CEOs of Edison Gas or Edison Electric or whatever. Their parents weren't Upper East Side Manhattanites. Can people please wake up to the con? Please. Please stop sending your kids to these indoctrination camps. Please stop letting your kids support things that they haven't read anything about. These are somebody's kids that we're looking at, that we just witnessed somebody's kid. We just witnessed the failure of education on somebody's kids out here beating these streets and potentially going to be cannon fodder because they're uneducated. They're low information. Their professors are their heroes. School's out. Well, they figure they're going to run out here and hit the streets with all the hacks that they've been taught by their professors. You probably have some judges. I'm going to tell you something else. You probably got some judges and lawyers out there beating these streets behind BLM and whomever else. We've had, in fact, there was another story that I was going to cover in which there's a Democrat that's been arrested for destroying a library. A library. She destroyed a library in Ohio during the Breonna Taylor case announcements. So you've got judges, you've got lawyers, I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't discover Democrats are out there on the streets. I wouldn't. And I'll be even more radical and say, let's see if there's a couple of Republican rhinos out there too, smashing and dashing stuff. Come on, guys. No holds barred. Who is it? Al Green? The congressman? He's been known to beat cops' heads or whatever, or to be on picket lines. Okay, here we go, guys. Well, let me say Al Green. He's pro cop beating. But these are activists, is what I'm talking about. These activist congressmen that we have.
I don't. But you can find us America's Voice News.
Okay, so now we're back to audio. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Okay. Okay.
What's your name again?
Ben.
Ben.
Yep.
Meet you, Ben.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. What was your name?
Lee.
Lee. Good to meet you, Lee.
I said all that. I won't interrupt again, but I just want to say this last piece. So we're back here with United America First. This is actually in DC right now. So what I'm saying is you've got a lot of activists that are in it. We have activists that are in our Congress already. They're what Al Green's in the House of Representatives, but he's been known to be an activist. And see, it kind of goes back to the whole civil rights. I believe we had some seedy civil rights people in this country back in the background, and they're exposing themselves now. This is their new civil rights movement, pseudo civil rights movement, and it's a dark movement, is what I will say. Systemic Marxism movement. So I'll stop talking and ranting and let you guys get back to this live coverage. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate for all you for attending and tuning in.
All right, so sorry about that, guys. We lost some audio there. Hopefully, I didn't lose too much of it. We're back. Hopefully, you got your audio. We're live. White House is behind me. BLM Plaza is down the street over here. We're talking to folks. Will is here somewhere. I'm going to go try to find Will. Let's go across the street. Let's go here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got Will. We got Will. All right. Let's go, Joey and Will.
And you're going to exercise your right, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, no matter what, exercise your right
Yes.
before they take it away.
I don't think that it's fair to complain about America and not use your right to vote. Like, I have some cousins who are old enough to vote, but they will not because they don't want to be involved in it. But then they'll take their views and complain about it. And I'm like, you have a chance to use your words and use what you think is right. And if you're not going to do that, I really don't want to hear about it. Like, you know?
Like, don't take that vote for granted.
Yeah.
Like, even if it is one tiny vote, like, that one tiny vote.
They would. Ladies, awesome. Thank you so much.
Says about anybody.
America, I was like,
White supremacists while we were standing. Bob.
amazing.
What do you think of Amy Coney Barrett?
It's amazing. I think it's awesome. I actually was just interviewed earlier about this. Like official. I think it's you believe in God or you believe in no God, and one of those two things is going to shape what you do and the decisions you make. So I think it's completely hypocritical to think that that's a reason for her to not be in there just because it goes against your personal beliefs.
Tolerance of the left.
Getting into the Supreme Court because
Right.
she doesn't believe with what they believe.
Isn't that ironic?
It is. Like,
It does to Democrats.
Yeah,
It does to the left.
I wish it didn't,
I
but
Well, and that's it. Like you women, to the it's just like my friend Will. He's a conservative black man in America. He gets treated with the most.
and preaching the gospel of black man and black. He was like, "You're not. You turned your back. Yeah, like your back on your kind." And it's like
You're a sellout. You're a race trader. I've heard it all. It's just.
Wrong color. And like it's really like it's just disrespectful because it's like just because you believe something doesn't necessarily mean that I have to believe it. Like we all are born with our own will and we're all allowed to have like our own opinion. So it's
that's
just
the
really
difference between
critical.
it's the difference between the right and the left, and freedom and liberty. Well, God bless you. How old are y'all, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm gonna be 17 on Saturday actually.
17?
Yeah. 18.
18?
19.
19?
22.
22. So 4 of you are voting.
Yeah, sadly I
Voting for.
the first time I'm actually. Well,
I don't mean to laugh. So this is my thing. To me, this is the clearest.
I don't come from a family that's really big into politics and stuff. So anything that I've literally learned is like literally from her.
Well, this is what I'd absolutely recommend. I love that. So think for yourself and come up with those decisions based on your own research, not what other people are telling you. But I got to say, this election, it couldn't be clearer. When it comes to life, when it comes to God, when it comes to light. I mean,
Very, very clear choice here.
17-year-old, if you could vote, who would you vote for?
Oh, Trump, 100%. He had my vote since 2016. So
And when you were 13?
yeah. So yeah, I've always been like super passionate about this kind of stuff. I think it's so. I don't know. I'm really, really interested in it, and yeah, I think it's amazing. So.
Yeah, forgive me for my reaction on that, but do think. I mean, just think for yourself. And that's the key. Is don't let anyone else
All my
direct.
parents' political like opinions to be mine. I mean, my parents are voting for Trump, but like I don't know enough about.
Shout out to your parents.
Okay, but I don't personally know enough about his administration or any of like a lot of his political views or like where he stands on everything.
Yeah.
So like I can't really say, and I don't know much about Biden either. And
We have an 8-hour drive home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
you got
talked-
time.
we
You
did.
got time. I love it. I love it.
So it's good.
I feel like there's a red pill coming here. I'm just saying, just between you and me.
Okay, that's really funny, but yeah, it's like it's an educational process for everybody and stuff, especially the youth of America. So it's like
That's awesome.
it's fun. So
Well, God bless y'all.
you too.
All right. Shout out to Ohio, all of our patriots in Ohio. God bless America. I got another Ohio.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, thank you. We got some action going on over here.
There actually is a video of Donald
We're
Trump.
having our whole conversation.
There is a video.
We're together.
There is a video of Donald Trump.
Can I talk to you, man?
No.
Why not?
No, I think that
Because
was
it's
in
my
March.
right to
I
say
think
no.
that was in March of
That's fine.
2016. You guys should go on YouTube and look it up. Donald
That's
Trump
fine.
said that there should be health care for everybody, especially the ones who don't have it, and that the government would pay. He said that it's
Come here. Come here.
Again,
Come talk to me, brother. All right. Oh, you don't want to be on camera? Okay. You can. We can.
I'm trying not to be political.
Okay. Yeah. No, we don't have to.
Okay.
Why are you here, man?
I'm here for to stand with our
Tell everyone who
nation.
you are first.
My name is Eliav, and I'm here because I'm standing for my country, for us to come together through the Messiah. And to
Yet all of this, the foundation of it, if we were to reset that foundation, all of it would get better. All the division, all of the hatred, all of this.
we wouldn't have what we have out here.
Yeah.
So let's return back to God and shout out to Ohio, guys, and California.
And California. You all right? All right, Will's got an interview going over there. We're gonna keep walking and talking. Let me put my backpack on. Huh? How you doing?
Friends I met at the return.
Awesome. What brings you out? What do you guys think about? I don't know if you guys heard President Trump's announcement. Amy Coney Barrett as the Supreme Court pick.
Yeah, well, I guess it's gonna possibly end Roe versus Wade, which is a blessing because it's gonna save lives. It's gonna save innocent lives, and that's on our hands. That's on the church's hands. The sacrifice and the blood of the babies, and so it's gonna be good. God's gonna use it.
Amen. And so the left is attacking President Trump in that choice, saying that Amy Coney Barrett is anti-woman. That RBG was this champion for women's rights. What would you say as young women?
I don't think he's anti-woman at all. He's putting a woman in Supreme Court.
No, they're saying she's anti-woman.
Oh, she's anti-woman. How do they? I don't know why they say she's anti-woman. Yeah, I guess
she doesn't support abortion.
Oh, okay. So, but there's babies are male and female, so she's for female babies as well. I am a huge Mona.
From
Price.
Woman because she is a woman.
Yeah.
I think it's just the calling of God on her life. People are scared, she's for the Lord and it's going to change this country. And, people don't want to see that kind of positive change because they ultimately want to see Trump and his administration fail. I don't know what their agenda is with that, but the Lord is going to take back his country.
What do you think?
She's a step in that.
What do you think of President Trump?
Oh, I think he's awesome. I think he's really encouraged by God. He encourages those to practice their religious faith. And he just genuinely cares about America and the people.
You mind telling me your name and your age?
Gloria Martinez. I'm 25 years old.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gloria?
Gloria.
Awesome. And?
My name?
Yeah.
Lucy.
Lucy and your sisters?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Martinez?
Martinez. Yeah.
Awesome. And other sister?
No. Sister in Christ.
Yeah, sister.
That's
I'm
awesome.
Priscilla.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Anything you want to add?
I'm total in agreement on who he picked just because she is solid. She's a unmovable conservative. And so I think she's going to be like, And I don't agree with what as Mr. the president says, fake news says about her, but I think that's what we need is just a solid to bring back this nation to its true Christian heritage. I think that's what we're missing. That's why we see all this mess right now, because we have lost the roots. The roots have been pulled out, the genuine roots that founded this country. And so, I think that this generation and who they're putting in these positions is going to bring this nation back. It might not be in this generation, but it will happen. If the enemy did that throughout the years, of generations, and he positioned himself, now we're positioning ourselves.
Amen.
And we're taking this nation back.
No more compromising with evil.
No more compromising. Definitely not.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm Ben.
Priscilla,
great
Nice
to meet you.
you.
All right, guys, more of that. Do you guys want to say anything? So don't, that guy that said that, anyone's welcome to talk. I want to give you a voice if you want to have it. Anyone, go.
Sure.
Why are you out here? And if you change your mind, you want to talk, just let me know.
Well, I'm out here because we were here for the prayer event.
Yep.
And we just came to this area. We just wanted to pray and bless the area, bless the people on both sides. Pray for the police, pray for those who feel like they haven't been given justice, and pray for those who are here to just pray.
Amen.
Thank you.
God bless you.
You
Thank
too.
you. That Big difference, clear distinction. We're talking about that for the election. Clear distinctions out here. Will still got this guy going over here. Do you want to talk, man? No pressure. Whatever you want to talk about, man. Like, how do we bring America back together?
Give us our own land.
Okay.
Yeah. The size of California.
You don't want California?
No, the size of California.
Oh, the size of California. You'll take.
California.
You know what? I live in California.
I want California.
Why not?
Fire.
Yeah, you know why? Radical environmentalism that doesn't let us. I live in California. Actually live in the mountains. My parents were evacuated in this last fire.
Cool Democrat.
Damn.
I don't care.
It's my.
California. Yeah. Yes.
Is that not racist?
No,
it's not.
No.
That we would have just black people in one place.
Because if it was racist, y'all would never offered us 40 acres and a mule. So if you add up everybody 40 acres, that's the size of California. We'll gladly take that.
Okay.
And we can live our life normal.
But why wouldn't you want brown people, white people, other people? We're live. I'm not twisting anything. We're live. But you can think for yourself and speak for yourself.
Absolutely can.
Yeah. You don't have to listen. Okay.
He's not with you. He's not.
I'm a Christian conservative. That is my bias. As like a reasonable solution. I don't see America just saying, because really to me, that's actually a racist solution where we divide again, we segregate again. I think we need to come together. I mean, I think white people should be able to interact with black people, should be able to interact and love each other.
If I killed a dog or a cat, would I go to jail?
No.
No?
No. It depends. It depends on how you did it. I mean, if you're cruel to an there's laws against cruelty to animals. Depends if they found enough evidence.
They're gonna indict them, right?
Depends if they have enough evidence. I mean, if like, so.
I'm just using a crime with a crime. If I walked in the store and I asked for the money, I got $60, I ran out, and they found $30 on me, that's still some evidence, right?
Right. You would probably be charged with the crime.
If an officer fires 7 shots at me, and 7 bullets missing out his clip, that's evidence, right?
Yes. But when you said
to be on the Taylor case,
yep,
they indicted the officer with the shots he missed, not the shots he hit. I'm done with that.
Okay.
Bye.
Hey, thank you, man. You got, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to talk though? If you do, let me know. All right. No worries. No pressure. There's no requirement. Anyone else? Freedom of thought, freedom of expression. I don't mean to interrupt you again, but I'd love to continue our conversation. Doesn't have to do it right now, but grounds. We're up for it. No pressure though. Yeah, I got you, man. All right, so it's actually, the nice thing is it's been very peaceful. I'm letting Will's having some conversations with some folks. Any of you guys want to talk too? You're welcome to. No pressure. Sorry, I didn't mean to get in their shot. Come talk, man. How do we know each other?
I've seen you before, man.
That's a cute dog. What's his name? Her name?
Millie.
Millie. What's up, Millie? What's up, Millie? Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Don't listen. That's a lie. That's a lie, man. Okay, you've seen me, but you're saying I'm a racist. Explain it. Okay. God bless you, man. God bless you. It's a very cute dog, though. So anyone, I'm willing to have a conversation with anyone. I'm actually... Anyone else want to have a conversation? No? God bless you. Yeah, come talk.
Yeah.
What brings you out here?
Well, originally I'm pro-Palestinian.
Okay.
But Trump really, did everyone in because after Russia took over the Crimea and helped Assad, Trump made all these pro-Russian statements. That made Russia and Assad complacent. So Assad used chemical weapons a second time. You don't have to fight Russia. Just speak out against them for taking over the Crimea and helping Assad, a dictator. He also called John McCain a coward. Now, John McCain, both his arms were broken, his leg was broken. He was supposedly tortured. Now, I can disagree with John McCain without calling him a coward. You know, I find that disgusting. And, you know, I really hate anti-Polish jokes. We forget that Russia helped Hitler conquer Poland. And after World War II, they conquered their own allies, Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Romania took Mongolia from the Chinese ally. Now, I think that's a little unfair. They went home in 91, but they're at it again in the Crimea.
So Poland, if we can shift gears a little bit to Poland, very strong on their borders.
Yes.
Very isolation. You could all say isolationist, but
they want to be independent.
Yes.
Just remember the Czechs and her first wife was.
I was going to ask about that, though.
His first wife?
No, about about that. So you're pro Poland.
Yeah.
So are you also pro America having strong borders?
Well, I don't care. We're here already. I don't know what you mean by strong border.
Like our southern border, like President Trump is for. I'm trying to find like common ground where there are some
I'm
things.
Specifically neutral. Okay.
Okay.
Now
on that issue.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. In Georgia. I'd leave it up.
To say about Assad, and I've got nothing good to say about Putin. So I'm not going to argue. I think sometimes our leader has to make decisions that are in the best. Well, they always have to be in the best interest of America. So when we speak out, when we don't, what he knows that we don't know, there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
What's happening? You know, whether that was Assad dropping chemical weapons, which I believe it was, but I don't have all the intel on that. What do you think about that decision, replacing Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the lady, so I can't speak on that. But I know a week and a half ago, he said, if I lose. Now,
and his response, which is ironic, or would he accept the outcome of the election if he lost? It's ironic because Hillary Clinton still hasn't seemed to have accepted the outcome of the election. They were asking him the same question in 2016.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you somewhat. Right, that's like saying we should get rid of the Senate, which is a good idea. But in the old days, it would help the Republicans. But the Senate is, some states are 10 times more populous than the others. Now,
I like this.
Okay.
Be careful coming over here, Will. They said I'm a white supremacist, so be careful.
Well, okay. Two things. Now, I think Trump is mostly wrong, but he repaired the post office building, did a good job.
Yeah.
Secretly, I thought he did a great job in Asia by accident. And as long as he doesn't start a war, he gets full credit.
And now he's getting the Nobel Peace Prize, or at least nominated twice,
right,
for peace in the Middle East.
Refused to take power. So Kim, the younger brother, had to take power.
Yeah.
So he went right up to the edge of war. Now, if he doesn't start a war, Trump gets full credit. Kim's never.
This guy's a terrible guy. He's killed so many of his people. But now you come to see. Now, I think Kim's terrible for North Korea. I think he's a dictator that kills millions of his own people. They're starving there. It's terrible. But how President Trump handled that, nobody could. I mean, that was genius.
It was very good. I admit that. Okay. But then he bumbled with Russia, you know.
Well, we're not in a war.
Yeah.
I mean, he's put sanctions on Russia.
Yeah, but he's the one who took the sanctions away that John McCain and Obama had.
But he's put new sanctions.
Only after the assassination in London, you know.
I mean, but anyways, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate the conversation. That's what we want to have, open dialogue. America's Voice News, real America's voice.
Okay.
We agree on the things we agree on. We disagree respectfully. That's the whole idea. So God bless you. You mind telling me your name?
Steve Delaney.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for being out here. All right, guys. Anyone else? Cutest dog out here so far, by far. French Bulldog.
Chocolate City Frenchies.
What's up, buddy? If everyone could just be as cute as this dog, the world would be a better place, right? Why are you guys out here? Do you mind telling me?
I came out here to support my buddy Diego.
Are you Diego?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you out here, Diego?
I'm here to support my brother.
Black Lives Matter. To try to fix the problems that exist. And I don't think let me just say this, if Black Lives mattered to man. My lifetime.
All right, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump?
I think he's a great president. I think he's been when it comes to economic issues, when it comes to Israel, when it comes to God, when it comes to just about every level of our society, he has made wise choices that have made this country better.
When you mean God, what do you mean? Well,
I'm a Christian, so God is the God of the universe that created all things, and Jesus Christ is my savior.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to ask.
Okay, cool, man. Do you want to ask?
Shout out to everybody in the stream. I do realize I'm having a bit of a connection problem, so I might reset really quickly and come right back. I mean, it won't take very long. It's possible, but what you're getting right now, I think, is pretty invaluable, this coverage, because you're actually seeing, it's interesting enough that these young individuals will even have a conversation. You see a lot of the angry, and you're seeing less of that in the crowd. You're seeing less agitators. You see a lot of them that are high, very triggered. You see the triggered element, but for the most part, I think you're seeing the walls are coming down, if I can say that. So what I'm going to try to do here really quickly, I'm going to reset. It shouldn't take more than 5 to 7 minutes. I'm not sure how much longer. I'll probably run this stream for maybe another 20 minutes or so. And then I will come right. I'm going to reset it and come right back. because it's on my end. I really don't know why it's doing that, but that's something that I deal with on a regular. So give me just 5 minutes or less, and I will be right back. So just meet me right back here, and we'll continue this. Thanks, guys, so much.